Something that I've found myself doing recently that I think is very interesting is when normally I would just kind of go on autopilot and scroll on social media mindlessly. What I'm doing instead is just kind of like sitting into a meditative state and revisiting memories. And I found myself doing this, I would say, a few times over the past, I don't know, 1 to 2 weeks now. It's definitely a very recent thing. My process and journey of healing is very important to me, and making sure that I get the absolute most out of it is just like completely crucial. See, the thing is that's interesting about healing is that it kind of just like happens automatically. It's like when you learn a new way of doing things that's better than the previous way, you probably are not going to default back to the old way of doing things. So, healing kind of happens automatically. But what's very interesting is when you take the time to consciously sit in a meditative state, being mindful of past experiences and memories and revisiting them. And it's interesting because so much of life is lived on autopilot, right? It's lived subconsciously. Like it's so interesting because where we come from is just so we've been so conditioned by trauma, and with that comes a lot of dissociation, right? Defense mechanisms and everything, and because of that, we're actually not as present as we could be with each experience, and this is why it's so crucial to really sit with memories and stuff. Um, and often in times, like that we were experiencing things, our our response or our reaction, whatever it is, to the situation, to the experience, is not congruent with how we feel. Maybe we feel deeply uncomfortable, and what we mean to say is, just express how uncomfortable we feel, right? But we don't. And that teaches us that. That teaches us to not communicate how uncomfortable we feel regarding something. And that's a problem. It's a problem because we're not teaching ourselves the healthy, necessary response in regards to the situation. If the situation suggests discomfort and we just play it off, haha, it's not okay, you know? It's not okay because then deep down inside there's pain. There's pain of incongruency. There's pain of you didn't show up for yourself. You didn't get angry when there was a foreign attack, Like, it's just, and of course, a foreign attack would be, a boundary violation. Maybe somebody projects how they feel about themselves onto you, and you're not aware of yourself and themselves, and you're not realizing that it's just a projection of insecurity from them. Um, this sitting with memories, one or multiple, is very interesting because it allows you the opportunity to revisit things, and ultimately you can build your memory better, right? Maybe there were things about your childhood. This happens, by the way. Maybe there were things about your childhood that you completely forget. Maybe there are very little childhood memories that you have, and that's a result of trauma. That's a result of blocking out so many memories because of how fucking painful the past was. That's a very real thing. So just sitting with these memories and stuff, and like realizing that you wanted to react totally differently. Maybe you were just I was actually just doing this, but maybe you were like maybe you heard somebody say something that just made you like you ever hear somebody say something and you're like, what? Like you're so dumbfounded. You're like you do a double take, right? And it's like, what the fuck? That just completely catches you off guard. And in that moment, there's a good chance that you're probably not going to, you know, like say what you need to say. Whether that's, wow, the fucking audacity that you have to say something like that. Or, like, maybe you do just need to call the person a piece of shit. I don't know. Like, um, just recognizing how fucked up things are sometimes. We have a tendency to not do that in the moment because oftentimes of how dissociated we are, right? Oftentimes we're in, you know, flight, we're in flee, we're in appease. You know, maybe we were taught to be the nice guy, right? So appeasing is default for us, right? Um, or girl, of course, nice girl. Or sorry, good girl. There's the nice guy and there's the good girl. You're either conditioned into recognizing threats and responding to them congruently, accurately, or you were just conditioned into the nice guy or the good girl. And it's just very interesting because sitting with memories really helps you understand where you came from, right? As I was just doing it, I was like reflecting on so many things, and there were times when I was like, wow. And there were other times when I was like, just like frustrated, like, you know, fuck off, that kind of stuff. It's real. It's 100% real. And I just think that this is a really great opportunity to really tune in, right, and understand your inner universe better, because there's a whole fuck ton of a lot of stuff there. A lot of shit, a lot of just everything. It's crazy. The subconscious is a very interesting thing to explore. And the more you explore it, the better you see yourself, the better you understand yourself. And so yeah, I started doing this. I remember because I was going to I was going to mindlessly scroll on social media, and the thought came in, and it was like, why don't you just revisit memories? Why don't you just go into the past, right? I think there's a lot there that you can utilize to, supplement your healing journey. You can explore different things. You can explore different territories and stuff. You can see yourself better. You can understand yourself better. And I did. And I just went. I just went into all these different dimensions and stuff. I went into times when Chris did not know what to do. I went into times when, I could have done things differently. And that's the thing, too. Healing is all about experiencing the opposite of what was previously experienced. So if what was previously experienced was to freeze and shut down, but you were uncomfortable, then, the real experience is to, just fucking let it out. Like, it's the reality of things. So this experience of tuning in and revisiting memories is something that I can see as supplemental to my healing journey. And as I continue to share this with people, I think it'll be a very interesting thing to just explore. So, yeah, I'm excited.